6:36 in the afternoon on November 2nd, 1990. I was out flying my original Swizzle Stick, and it started diving, and I pulled out. I don't know, it just was acting weird. None of the controls would respond. It basically nosed in, and looks like the wing is still attached. Doesn't look too bad. Well, look at the rear wheel there. Well, the day is ending on a good note. Let's see. It is now 5:07. I took the rear wheel off, the tail wheel, and I replaced it with a piece of wire that I spent probably 5 minutes looking for. But I've taken it up. I took it up for another tank full. I did many touch and goes. That's about the only damage on the plane at the moment. But it was a good day. Now I'm gonna clean up and go home and get warm. And here's the wing to it. This was the first plane I ever built. I still have it. I believe it's close to 8 years old, if not more than 8 years old right now. There was an extra rib in the wing because this used to be the tip of the wing right here. And then we added the wingtip out on there. Well, I fixed that. I broke out the last rib, and then I marked that on the spar, and then I took a straight edge and drew a line on the back of the spars, and then just took the hacksaw blade, which is the most useful tool, and just cut it off and sanded it until it fit. And these wingtips came out better than the new ones. Boy, what a pain in the butt it was, but it's worth it. This plane flies so much better now. And these wingtips, I'll tell you, they show up in the sky. This thing's got patches all over it. This is so great. This wing represents so much history, so much past. I mean, this wing is like a monument. It's like a milepost to gauge how far I have come in this hobby. 8 years and this thing is solid. This wing ain't gonna break. I remember one day, a couple years ago, I hung this plane up for good. I thought I'd never fly it again. This plane was never going to fly again. And one day I looked at it, I said, it's gonna fly again. And one day I pulled it out and I put it together and took it out and flew it. And it was flying again. This plane has flown so much. This plane has outflown any plane I've ever had. This plane will never die. I'll just keep patching the holes.
Our pilot has found the right moment. And he lives. Wind shear. No. He's holding. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. Breathe deep, ladies and gentlemen. Our pilot has safely set the return of this plane back on the ground.
Hey, next time I'm recording any video of us flying, Tell me to shut up. Anyway.
It's 2:08. I've been out here for a couple of hours. I just got through flying my Swizzle Stick for 30 minutes on a single tank. Did a lot of touch and goes and spins and loops, all kinds of fun stuff. Greased on most of the landings, and it's been a great day. Oh, I crashed my Swizzle Stick the other day, a couple weeks ago. June 3rd, 1991, approximately 11:11 a.m. Well, I did it. I crashed my Swizzle Stick. I went out today to fly. So I went out there. It's been a long time since I've been out flying. I haven't flown for like months. On my first flight out, I take off. Take off. I'm overly confident that I can still fly. I come around, I come into land. I fly around, come around, make my approach, turn on final, come into land. To do a touch and go. Ring, up goes the throttle. Breeze comes along. I'm pulling up before it has enough airspeed. The plane gets like this, and suddenly before I know it, it's scraping on the wing, and it cartwheels, and then it lands right upside down. This is what happens. All the weight right on the wing. I heard this pop. The loud pop, and the wing went flat. So what happened is this joint separated here, separated along the rib, all along here. The rib is cracked down to the bottom. Just this loud pop. We got bad news. I snapped the wing. Okay, I prepared this section in here. I've cut out this piece here that will go in here right up against the two ribs to reinforce them. Well, as you can see, it's now 9:41 or thereabouts on June 3rd, 1991, the same day that I did all that repair work on my plane. Well, I didn't really like it because it was just this big white blotch on it. So I made it look a little better. You won't find another wing like this in the world, okay? This is my wing. This belongs to my plane that I have named Siggy. As you could see, that happened on June 3rd. It is now June 21st. It's 2:38 in the morning, and it is now time to go to bed. July 6th, 1992, 11:43 p.m. This is this plane again, Siggy. I had a very major crash. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but the plane was, I thought, totally destroyed, but I have since rebuilt it. The wing was broken back up in all the way up to here. I'd removed the leading edge and the top sheeting, and the head of this rib was missing. There was some undersheeting that was cut back up to about here. I cut a new tip. I had carefully cut out the old tip, which is in here. There was some damage in here. This rib was broken back here, and I think the landing gear came up through the bottom. There was a piece of the lower sheeting that was damaged. It was in here somewhere. The monocoat was damaged here. I patched a small hole in here, and I patched a larger hole in here. And the monocoat was torn all the way along here. Now, the fuselage is a miracle recovery story. If you notice, there's no servo tray or any mounting hardware in here for the radio. It completely broke free in the impact. And I've sanded the sides here so I can install new framework. The two main fuselage sticks were broken in a number of places. I have a plywood reinforcement on the inside on both spars because they were broken here and here. On the side I've extended an exterior piece of plywood on the outside on both sides. One of these was broken up in here. One of these was separated from the tail, actually completely separated, and I just popped it back into place and glued it. The tail wheel was completely destroyed. I've completely reconstructed a new one. The tail fin, as you can see, had a part that was broken there. I cut out a section and glued a new piece in. The front was broken back in here somewhere. The main fuselage sticks were broken back in here somewhere. They were cracked. This was glued back on place for the landing gear. This bolts on top of this to keep the landing gear restrained in place. And these are the new control surfaces. The control surfaces were destroyed for the most part. The elevator and the rudder. When the radio broke free, it broke. You can see that rectangle portion there that I filled in. And as you can see, I have painted it. It is now a glossy white paint. This concludes this video record of this construction. July 6th, 1992, 11:51 p.m. It's November 30th, 1992. I crashed Siggy again today. He's busted up in the front pretty bad. The wing has some fairly extensive damage. The rear trailing edge sheeting is broken up to here, and I can see a crack extending on down to here. Now the center section here is also broken. It is snapped along the bottom, up all the way back here. This sheeting in here is broken. The tip is broken here. There is a partial separation of the main boom on the right here. Exposed the covering. This wood has not been exposed for 10 years. That concludes this part of the video. When I come back, I will pick up where I left off on the wing.
definitely repairable.
After we lost it in the sun.
I've got this long-term project in mind. It deals with putting a video camera in the plane.
Bill's new custom wing. First flight.
plane is all fueled up and ready for its first night flight. It's all ready to go. I've flown it a few times today. Well, I just got done flying through the sunset. I wanted to continue flying. I've got a little fuel left, but it's acting like my receiver battery may be getting weak, so I don't want to push a bad position. But the lights are starting to show. You can see the wings now. I'd like to fly some more, but I'm also freezing. I've got my jacket on. Getting pretty cold, and I've had enough, I think. I do want to see this after dark though, so I think I'm going to sit in my car and get warm, and then I'm going to bring it back out and have a look.